Good morning. Wow, it's been a long time since my last update, and as you can see, we've got a new foster dog called Rue. Another poor dog that's had some, had a bad start in life. So we're looking after him right now, and he's a gorgeous boy. He's a hunt-away mix. He wants to herd sheep and herd us, and yeah. Anyway, it's been 8 months since my last video. I think it was the 5th of October or something like that, which is a long time. And, I've got no excuse. Well, I have got an excuse for not doing an update, to be honest with you. It is around, we did actually get an offer on the property and we were going through with everything. And then COVID happened and it didn't materialize in the end, so we lost that sale, which is fine. We've actually now, with the COVID situation, we've actually decided that nobody's going to buy, because this is quite an expensive property, nobody's going to buy properties in the current climate or this price property range anyway. So we've decided we're going to stay. We're going to stay for at least a couple more years and see how things pan out. And it's not a hardship, because I do like this house. It's just a little bit big for us, and I love the garden. So and with my, as some of you watch my other channel, I've got a huge collection of plants and a big garden, so that's fine. I'm still fit and healthy to be able to do it. Let's just rearrange. Oh, sorry. Oh well, keep it real. So what's been happening with my weight? Well, everything was fine. I managed to maintain between 61 and 62 kgs. I never did get below that 60, which is fine. It's not a big deal. I felt healthy. In my head, I feel fine. But of course, then COVID happened and New Zealand went into lockdown. And my husband was off work for about, I think it was about 6 or 8 weeks all up. And of course my husband eats, and I'm no way using him as an excuse, but I am. He would eat 3 meals a day, like he'd have breakfast, lunch and evening meal. And basically I was using him as an excuse to do exactly the same thing. Consequently, I've put on 5 kgs. So I weighed myself this morning. I'm exactly 67 kgs. Well, I can't carry on like that, basically. So thankfully, he's gone back to work now. I also had a keto meeting yesterday where a group of us got together in a local cafe. And I must say, Rangiora, there's at least 4 or 5 cafes now that do keto food. So that's fantastic. It's really taken off here, which is really good in the cafes. The supermarkets need to catch up a little bit with different products, but generally the cafes are good, especially in Rangiora, my local town. So that's good. So anyway, we had a meet up, and I learnt, you get stuck in a rut sometimes. You carry on and you get stuck in this rut, and I've sort of forgotten a few things, along the way. So it was great because I got a refresher course, because I do struggle with my drinks. I have my coffee with cream in, and I have a lot of them, as you well know, I've said before. And I believe I'm getting too much fat, too much cheese and too much cream. And I think that's another reason why I'm putting on weight, because I drank more when my husband was home as well. We tended to sit, because it's winter here. It's not always nice to go outside. We would sit and drink me coffee, him tea. And having said that on that subject, it is winter here, so I'm nowhere near as active as I am normally, and I think that doesn't help. Although I've got Dexter down here, although I do take, I do have 2 good walks a day with the dogs. Sometimes if it's, raining or not very good weather, they are very short walks around the woods here, but they do go out. So, so I've learned some new tactics around dropping the cream out of my milk. Like this morning, they do a really good drinking chocolate over here, which is keto, which is, I think it's 0.01 of a gram of carbs, which is nothing basically. And I actually had a cup of it this morning without milk, because it's the one that you add the milk to, the one that's already pre-mixed with some sort of whitener in it. That's 5 carbs for a drink, and it's advertised as 99% sugar free, and I believe, yes, it is probably sugar free, but the stuff that they use to make it white, give it the milk, or for want of a better word, make it whiter, or some sort of powder in it, I believe that's got the carbs in it. So that's no good for me. So anyway, I had this hot chocolate just now, and it was great. It tasted fine. I can probably have some of those and cut out some of the coffees. So I'm going to do that. I've also got back into making myself more keto meals. So I'll get that started next week as well. So yeah, so you can join me on my journey to lose these 5 kgs, and hopefully I'll shift them. And I've got a new hairstyle. I found the bob was great. I thought it looked good on me, but it was quite hard to maintain. It took a lot of care, and sometimes I can't be bothered. I'm up in the mornings, out with the dogs. If it would be raining, it would go all fuzzy and curly, because I've got quite a bit of a curl in my hair, and then I'd have to straighten it, and nah. So I had it for a while. I liked it while I had it, but I decided that this is much easier to maintain. I literally don't even have to dry this. I do straighten my fringe a little bit with the straighteners, but generally this is just left. I wash it and brush it in place and leave it, which is great. I use a bit of product and that helps. And I'm hoping to get some new glasses or spectacles soon, but of course with the COVID, everything shut down. And then I thought, well, although everything's open now in New Zealand, we're on level 1 at the moment, so they're just quarantining people coming into the country. But freedom for us is, we do have freedom to wander around and do whatever we want, and we don't have to, although they advise maintaining social distance, we don't actually it's virtually back to normal. So with that, I'm waiting for the initial rush for people to get their eyes tested and get new glasses to be over with, and then I'm hoping to go in and get some new spectacles soon, so I have an even newer look. Other than that, I will say, although I've put those 5 kgs on, my clothes is okay. I'm not finding, things are getting too small for me, funny enough. Some of the jeans, like my size 10 jeans, they do feel slightly tighter, but not a great deal. And I know I have put it on around the middle more than anywhere else, but other than that, I haven't really noticed a massive difference. And they do say, don't look at your scales when you're on keto. You really need to go with how you feel and what size clothes you wear. But for me, as I've said before, the numbers do matter for me. I do need to get down definitely below that 65, and hopefully, with the summer, with spring coming on in a month and a half, hopefully I'll be able to I'll be busy in the garden, and hopefully I'll get below 60, but it's not a major, but I do have to drop those 5 kgs. So you can join me on that journey of dropping those. And I will be more regular updates. It may be only once a fortnight, because, it may take me a bit longer to drop those 5 kgs than, each week going down. But I will do it. And I'll talk about, my struggles. I think I've touched on it before. There is a fat person in here, and that fat person will always be there. Or rather than call it a fat person, that person who wants to eat and eat and eat, eat to feel happy, eat when I'm unhappy, eat when I'm happy, eat at functions. She will always be there in my head, and I just have to control her every day. And sometimes it is a struggle. Life gets in the way. You tend to, ups and downs. Like when we lost the sale of the house, I was very disappointed, because we actually picked out a house that we wanted to buy. And I was looking forward to moving there. It was a much smaller property. The property was a little bit smaller, but the land was a lot smaller. Still, quite a big bit of land, but nowhere near what we've got here. But anyway, it didn't happen. That's in the past. Like I've always said, you can't change what's in the past. You just got to move forward, and that's what I'm going to do. So thanks for joining me, and hopefully I'll catch up with you very soon. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your day, and the sun's coming out in New Zealand, which is great. Bye.